All right, everyone, welcome to the Fantasy Island Fantasy Football Show. I'm Jeremy. This is Mike. We're going to hop right into it. What we got in store for you here is just auction strategies only. So we're not going to do snake drafts. There's plenty of content and videos out there. We've both been doing auction drafts for over 10 years each, and we're just about that fucking life. All right, I don't know how you can't be. It's so much fun, and we're excited to get into it. So for the first video here today, what we have is our nomination strategies, okay? And with our nominations, we're going to break it into three parts. We're going to say the beginning of the draft, the middle of the draft, and at the end of the draft, because the strategies change throughout, right? So with that, we have the very first part of the first part of the draft, right? We have nominate your guy. Get who you want. Throw them out there, all right? See what they're going for. Don't do this whole, oh, I'm going to nominate someone I don't want. I'm going to waste everybody's budget, because you're not going to fucking waste their budget. You're not. You think
Not
that you're gonna, oh, you don't want Derrick Henry, you're gonna fucking throw out Derrick Henry. You know, someone's gonna get Derrick Henry for 40 bucks, and now he has Derrick Henry, and everybody else still has their entire wallet to spend, okay? And you just wasted a nomination, all right? Put your player out there, okay? Go after your guys, see what they get, see what they go for, all right? And maybe you'll get a steal, right? But maybe you won't, and then you can adjust and adapt from there, all right? But at least you know what they're going for, and you know if it's in your range or not.
No, definitely. And one thing I love doing in these early rounds is going for that second tier. So not that the prime stud tier. Go for that second tier where the value is undefined, and you can usually get a great bargain that way. Yeah, so target the Jonathan Taylors and the Chase Browns around this part, and you'll be able to get them for way cheaper than if you nominate them later in the auction.
Yep. Yep. And by way, and I couldn't agree more. Drew Davenport, shout out to him. He actually gave the suggestion last year, and I went after AJ Brown. He's my first nominee. Got him for like $42. Every other wide receiver won. All the top 10 to 12 wide receivers went for $50 each in our draft. All right. So just like Mike said, do that top of the second tier. Okay. Jonathan Taylor, right? Maybe a Derrick Henry, somebody at the top of the second tier. Looking at my tiers right now, you know, I think Genty, I don't know if that might be a little risky. I'd say maybe like that Jonathan Taylor, maybe even a Bucky Irvin, just depending on how you have him ranked. I have him ranked pretty high. But go after that top tier, because whenever he's saying also much cheaper, we're trying to save $5 here,
That's
right?
right.
We're not. If you think that you're going to save fucking 50%, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I mean, unless you're just drafting with some really, really struggling rookies or something. I don't know. This is their first draft, okay? But if you can save $5, that's going to help you later in draft, and that's the goal here for those first nominees. All right, and
Five
then
bucks goes a long way in the late rounds.
oh yeah, $5 in later rounds. You can. I mean, you
Yeah.
are king, right? As Michael Scott would say, right? Yeah, yeah, you are king. You are literally king. Oh, cool. And then anything else for the first round you have, Mike, or the first part?
No, that's really a great strategy for it. Because you don't forget when you nominate players, this is the only time in the entire auction you control the board. So you never want to waste a nomination. Don't be that guy throwing out kickers and defenses with their nominations.
Yeah.
You're just don't
Yeah.
do that.
If you're
Target your
going
guys, get them.
if you're going to bullshit, do that later in the draft. These first nominees, these are obviously the most important ones. So this is where you can get those steals for those studs still. But moving to the middle part of the draft, okay, this is where we kind of pivot, and you're just going to have to know your board, right? So if there's still some studs out there and you haven't spent much and you want to get them, then go after them. That's totally fine, right? This all depends, okay? But if you have spent some money, you have some players, and you actually kind of just want the board to come back to you, you need people's wallets to come down to your level, right? And you actually do need to throw out some people you don't want. A couple players, players to target are those name brands. Throw them out there. People are going to overspend. If you nominate Stephon Diggs, he's going to go for maybe $15 in the middle round, maybe. All right, and I know that's high for him this year. I know that's high, right? But he might. He has that name recognition, okay? And people are going to they're going to buy into not even the hype, but just that name brand piece. And they have the money to spend and money to blow. All right, if you nominate Stephon Diggs at the second to last round or whatever, he's gonna go for $3. Everyone's wallet spent. They have their players that they're gonna target, and they can't spend more because they already have $3. Okay, so if you nominate him middle of the rounds, right, have the board come back to you, have those people's wallets come back to you, and get back in the game.
That's right. No, yeah. Name burns is key here. It's simple psychology. Why do you think companies have commercials? If you recognize the name, you're going to throw money at it,
Mhm.
right? So that's what you do. You Travis Kelsey's, Cooper Cups, the names of the players that are on their slide on the decline. You can really get them out here. Have people spend way more money than they're worth in these middle rounds. And another one I love doing here is handcuffs. So if a guy gets a stud running back in the first rounds, nominate the handcuff there. That'll eat up cash and their roster spot for those positions.
Just stick it to him.
Stick it to them.
Hell yeah.
If you name the handcuff in the later rounds, it'll just go for $1. But in the middle rounds, you'll be able to eat up more of the capital.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I fucking love that. Especially if it's someone you hate. I swear, if somebody I lose, if there's somebody that I don't like, okay, and they get Christian McCaffrey in those middle rounds, I'm saying Isaiah Grendo, and I'm looking them in the fucking eyes when I do it, okay? Because you know they have to have him. They have to. And they're gonna spend $5, which he's a dollar player, like Mike was saying.
Yeah,
100%. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
definitely. And don't forget, I mean, you only have so many roster spots on your team.
Mhm.
And most of the times you have limit on the amount of positions you could have. So yeah, you're just eating up one of those spots, and that comes really big into play later.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Oh, sweet. And then for the end of the draft here, Mike, what do you got for us?
Yeah, for the later rounds, this is when you want to actually do the strategy a lot of rookies do in the beginning, which is nominate players you don't want to eat up other people's capital. This is the time you do that. So you nominate the guys who you don't want, and this is going to take up the rest of the other people's cash. That just leaves the entire board for you to get the guys that you actually want.
Yep. Yep. No, absolutely, dude. Because when you're nominating a player you want for a dollar, you're low on budget too, right? And you're nominating a guy for $1. Someone says two, and you're out, and then you lost your dude. So those people out there that you don't want, fill up their roster spots, end their draft. Just
Mhm.
fucking end it. If they say $2 for, let me see. If they say $2, okay, Javante Williams. Some people probably have him higher. Javante Williams can go for $1 for all I care. That dude ain't gonna do shit this year. If someone says $2 for Javante Williams, let him have him. Okay, he's one step closer to his draft ending, and then you being able to nominate who you want for $1 and securing him for $1. So at the end of the draft, couldn't agree more, Mike. Throw out people you don't want. Eat up those roster spots. Get them fucking out of there, and you on to getting your guys. So
Right. And this is also when you go for the defense and kickers, is in these later rounds. You should never spend more than $1 on them.
never, never, and don't nominate them before. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, great point. Yeah, don't nominate a kicker in the fifth round. I mean, unless they're kicking 70-yard field goals, okay. But other than that, don't nominate a kicker in the middle rounds. Wait to the end. Just get whoever you're gonna. Kickers and defense, they're waiver wire whores. Okay, they're gonna be all over there. They're gonna be passed around like it's no one's business. Okay, you're gonna share the kicker and defense with the rest of the league all season. No reason to spend more than $1 on these players here, or even before the end of the round. So, um, cool. You have anything else on this?
No, that was all I got for the late rounds.
Yeah, yeah. I guess, and then the only other thing too, as far as nomination strategy is, whenever you're nominating towards the end of the draft, no one to do it for more than $1.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're coming in and you know the board, you know what other people's max bids are because you're prepared, right? And you ain't no rookie, okay? When you nominate these players that you want and you see that someone else's max bid is $2, don't nominate him for $1. Okay? Yeah, it's cool if you nominate him for $1 and no one says anything and you get him for $1. That's awesome. Who wouldn't love that, right? But if someone comes in and says two and your max bid is two as well, then you're fucked. All right. So if you want this player, throw out $2 and get your player, and they can't come over the top. So keep that in mind. No one to come in over $1 with that nominee towards the end of the draft. So pays dividends. But
Definitely.
sweet. Well, I think this was good.
Yeah, this is great.
All right. Cool. Well, we will see you guys next time. Thank you to all of our 15 viewers for tuning in. And until then, see y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.